Welcome to PsychicBent. My name is Carrie.
And I'm Kim. We are two sisters wanting to help other psychics learn and grow in their abilities and to help educate about spirits, angels, and everything psychic.
Welcome back, PsychicBent listeners. Oh my gosh, can you believe this year is almost done?
No, it went by
It just
way too fast.
it just seemed like it was March,
Yeah,
and here we are.
and here we
It's been
are.
it's been crazy. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that, so I know it's just not us.
Yeah,
But it's an exciting time anytime you have a new year because you have new opportunities and you can basically create a new you. If you want to focus on setting the intentions and doing the work. And we've talked about this in previous episodes, of course, with the portal that has been open since 11/11,
right.
and now we're approaching 1/1. So. And we've talked about numerology quite a bit, and we did a deep dive episode. We were talking about the 1/1 after the big 11/11 portal, and numerology is huge. It does show up in my life, and I know it shows up in your life, Kim, where you'll glance at the clock and it'll be 111
Oh,
or 222 or 444. You have addresses that pop up that you're looking for that happen to be strong numerology numbers.
yes.
And so we thought this would be a great opportunity to talk about how important this New Year's is and what the upcoming year is really going to be about. It's a great opportunity to just be prepared and expect great things. What do you think, Kim?
Yeah, I agree. Numerology is based on your personal numbers. So everybody's personal number can be different. Like mine's different than Carrie's, and Carrie's is different than our sister Julie's. It's your personal number. So even though the year is going to be 2026, the number for that year, you would add the 2, the 0, the 2, and the 6 together to get what year it is. So numerology is based on a 9-year cycle. Your personal numerology number year is based on a 9-year cycle as well. So this numerology is based on a cycle of 9. And your personal number, it reveals the year that you're going to have, what's coming up. We're all trying to get ready for this new year, and you can also learn more about your actual personal number and how to calculate it for the new year, because each year cycle means something different. For example, if your personal number is a 1, that's the year for like fresh starts, setting new goals, and being independent and to take bold steps in your personal growth. So that's the new beginnings. Whereas a 9-year cycle, if your personal number is 9, that's actually the completion or the end of the cycle. You've got endings and renewals going to be happening, and you get to let go of the old to make space for new beginnings and forgiveness and compassion, to bring peace, just different things like that. So each personal number year has a different meaning to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So since we've established that numerology is based on a 9 cycle, each number is associated with a different vibration and can reveal different information about your life path, your characteristics that's going to happen, and so much more in your life. Now, your personal number sheds light on the themes that play out over the year, and these years run in, like I said, the cycle of 9, beginning with year 1. To understand these cycles, each year has challenges and opportunities in it. So it's not just this is going to be a wonderful year, we've got everything going. But you will personally be faced with challenges and opportunities in both. And the purpose of this is to learn from each situation that occurs within that cycle year. Now, once you know what year you're in, you can move through that year with a greater understanding of what exactly you could potentially face in that year. The way you calculate your personal year number is you add your birthday. So if you were born on August 15th, let's just say, you're going to add 8 is August, the month of August, because you have January's 1, February's 2. You all know the numeric representation of each month. So you have 8 for August. You would add 1 for 15 and a 5. So you would add 8 plus 1 plus 5, and that gets you 13.
And then you add the year you were born.
And then you can add the current year or whatever year you want. But if we're trying to determine what this next year is going to be for us and our personal number for that year, you would add 2026, which would be 2 plus 2 plus 6 to the 13.
And I think people get confused there because I think that the norm would be to add the 8 to the 15 instead of doing the 8 plus 1 plus 5 plus 2.
Right, yes.
I think a lot of people get a little confused on that. And I think it might be easier if you just write it out. Write down the if you want to do 2026 and your birthday, your birth month and birthday, just write out to add the digits just so you can follow along and make it, because that way it's spelled out, 8 plus 1 plus 5, and you can see you got all your numbers.
Right. So
Sorry.
No, that's it helps explain it. I know sometimes I get a little confusing on how I explain things. So we've added 8 for the month of August. We've added 1 plus 5. And then we added the 2 plus 2 plus 6 for 2026, which gives us a total of 24. Now, with it being a 9-digit cycle, 24, of course, does not fall between 1 and 9. So we have to take the 24 that we came up with and add the 2 and the 4 together. So we're reducing this 24 down to a single digit, which would be 2 plus 4, and that gets us a 6. So if you were born on August 15th and you want to know what your numerology number or for the year, personal number for the upcoming year, it would be 6. So your personal year number would be the theme of responsibility. And that means family, home, duty to take center stage, strengthen relationships, and care for loved ones, and nurture your environment. So you see, that year is responsibility. If it came up to be, like mine, for instance, is 1 plus 1 plus 2, which is 4, plus 2 more, which is 6, plus 2 more, which is 12. And then that comes up to be 12, but then I have to reduce that, so I add the 1 plus 2, and that gets 3. So my personal year is going to be 3, and this is the year, and the theme will be creativity. It's a year of self-expression, creativity, communication, nurture artistic projects, and social connections. So that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, and then we haven't touched on it, because what we're going to is when you start talking about the year's number going into 2026, it gets exciting. Kim, did you want to go ahead and break down what the personal year starting from 1 to 9 is? I mean, you brought up 2.
Yes.
I'm an 8, by the way.
You're an 8? Okay.
I'm an 8.
You could do this for, like I said, any year. If you want to do it for the year you were born, and just different to get your personal number. Like I said, it all depends on what year you want to do this for. But anyway, number one, like I said earlier, was the new beginnings, and it's for fresh starts in the 9 year cycle. And you set new goals, embrace independence, and take bold steps toward personal growth. Number two is partnerships. And you focus on relationships and cooperation and collaborations, diplomacy, and emotional balance are key to success. So these are things that you can focus on. And of course, partnerships, it's not just, it could be business, it could be personal, it could be whatever it is that you have where there's a collaboration that would take place. Creativity was 3. We've already covered that one. 4 is hard work, and this is time to build solid foundations, stay organized, disciplined, focused, be patient, and your efforts will lead to like long-term stability. So that's where you're working hard to focus on what it is your intentions have been set for that year and such. That one's a hard one.
Yes, but we all go through a personal 4 year.
Uh-huh.
We all go through, because these are the cycles,
Right.
and those are the growing. So that's a growing one.
Yes, exactly. 5 is the focus of change and expect transformations and movement. Adaptability brings freedom, travel, and exciting new experiences. So, with all this work that you've been doing each year or throughout the year, because these cycles also go monthly, 9-month cycles, you're always building up from the new beginnings to the ending. So, there's going to be change in there. Year 6 is responsibility. Home, family, and duty take center stage. You strengthen your relationships and care for loved ones and nurture your environment. So you take care of things around you and focus on your responsibilities. 7 is reflection. Now, this is a spiritual and introspective year. You study, rest, and personal growth are emphasized, and listen to your inner wisdom. Now, this one's Carrie's, and it is an 8, which is success, career advancement, and financial reward, and also focus on ambition and leadership payoff. Manage your power wisely. I could see that happening for you this coming year, Carrie.
Well, thank you. I would like to. I would like to see that happen too.
Yeah. 9 is completion, and that's endings and renewal. You let go of the old to make space for new beginnings. Forgiveness and compassion bring peace. Now,
Okay.
there were
Now,
2.
Kim,
There,
hold
were,
on, hold on, hold on,
okay.
hold on. Simmer down. She's all excited. I gotta keep going. What number were you again?
I think I was a 3.
You were 3. So, looking back at 2, do you see that's how you were for 2025? It's about the art of balance.
Yes. Yes. Connection, cooperation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that as being, yep.
Yeah. Okay. I already did that for me, but I wanted to just point that out to you. Okay. Carry on.
Well, there are 2 that some people do not really focus on, or they stay strictly between the 1 and the 9, but there's 2 master numbers, and one is 11 and the other is 22. These 2 I found really interesting because 11 is intuition and inspiration. And if you're in an 11 year, so that's if you came up with 1 as after you've added your birthday and the year, you come up with 11. The themes of inspiration and enlightenment vibrate strongly. This means you can tap into your inner guidance like never before. Others may seek you out for your wise counsel. You may be in the spotlight more than usual. And if you are ready to accept these responsibilities, you could inspire the public. Fame is also possible. Intuition is heightened this year. So you want to trust your instincts. Relationships need careful tending. And you might attract more people into your orbit Boundaries could be blurry. You see where this is going? It's best to make sure yours are firm if you wish to avoid misunderstandings and guard against materialism and ego.
Now, the year I was born, my numerology is 11.
Right. My year last year was 11. You know how you just
Hmm.
said 2?
Yeah, yeah,
My year last year
yep,
was actually 11.
yep.
So, with my intuition, I feel like I related to this one more than the 2 worked also, but yeah, I tapped into my intuition more and inspiration and stuff last year as well.
See?
Yeah. So the other one is 22, and that's building your legacy. So 22 is the master builder year, which means you can create your dream life or something that benefits humankind. And discipline and practicality will be necessary. At times, you'll be called to lead. Do not shy away from that role. Instead, look at how you can bring people together to build structures or institutions that serve society. You might even start a business or get involved in philanthropy. That brings us to numerology for the year 2026. That ushers in a brand new era, meaning that with the year 2026, you take your 2, you add your 2, you add your 6, you get 10. So 1 plus 0 equals 1. So that's new beginnings. The number 1 symbolizes fresh beginnings, bold steps, and start a brand new cycle.
So, whatever your number was that you just figured out, now you're going to add the number 1 and what that means to it. Not physically adding it, but your number 1 is a great year. And so everybody has number 1 because that's what we're starting the year with when you're looking at just 2026.
Right. It's your universal year.
Yeah, that's your universal year. Whereas 2025 was closing, purging, letting go energy because that was a 9 year.
Mm-hmm.
And 9 years are always rough. I think I find them rough,
Yeah.
but you may not think, you may not find them rough, but I do.
No, I agree.
Yeah. So right now we should be tying up loose ends from 2025 because you don't want to take any of 2025's loose ends with you into a universal 1 year.
Right.
Because that's, you don't be bogged down. You want to take those risks. You want to, move with courage and you want to manifest. But if you're holding on to the past of 2025, then that's going to be very difficult for you to happen.
Right. So you're wanting to just start over with the new, say goodbye to the old and start up with the new. The number 1 is also about independence and self leadership. This challenges us to believe in ourselves and to act as our own authority. This year, the most fulfilling paths will be the ones where you step into your own uniqueness and claim your ability to create change, because that's what the beginning is all about. You've learned your lessons from what took place in your 9 year of the cycle, and you can look back on the other 8 as well and start this one new and how you want to focus on that year for yourself, for your personal year cycle as well. So you may be surprised at how much your confidence will grow in this because of the lessons that you have learned and that you're starting new, fresh, and ready to begin all again. I personally am excited about this one because of I feel like I'm moving a lot in my progression over my abilities and such, and it's just getting me excited each year for what I can do next.
That's great.
How about you?
Well, this year, the coming year is what you're going to make of it. Like we said earlier, letting go of anything in 2025. Don't carry that into the new year. This is where you should be contemplating before New Year's. What exactly are you wanting? Because, this is where you're going to have the opportunity to make bold steps. You can recreate yourself on whatever you feel you're drawn to be in this upcoming year. And people are afraid of change.
Definitely. Yeah.
We all are. And when, so you want to just start Universal Year One boldly. And I know that's not everybody's personality, and I know some people are going, oh, cringed. I felt it. I felt Kim cringe when I said boldly. Like, it's not me. But this is the time to think about, you launch that new venture, begin a new relationship. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a mentorship, a friendship. If you've always been wanting to relocate to a particular area, well, focus on that and see what aligns to get you moved towards that location. Reinvent yourself. That's always fun. Because that gives you an opportunity. Of course, people, get past that fear factor. But if you've been working on your psychic abilities, this is the perfect time to reinvent yourself as a psychic. Get that foot out of that closet a little bit more. And this is where you begin bold. The key here is just be authentic to what you want to be or what you want to achieve. So this isn't like your New Year's resolution where you're going to go to the gym every day for maybe the first 3 days and then you quit. This is where you want to be authentic about what you want. And Kim and I talk about it. It's going to come out here. Journaling would be a great opportunity here.
Right.
To just write down what bold adventure or changes do you want to make in 2026? What's your passion? What's your priorities? Because they change from year to year, sometimes from month to month, depending on, how many times you've been thumped in the head by spirit. Now, having said this, you also have to be proactive. This is a proactive time where you take initiative. You get your name out there. If you've been wanting to do tarot card readings at a psychic fair, but you've always held back, now's the time to take the initiative. Create what your vision is, but you got to be willing to do the work. Don't sit back there and I want to win the lottery. I don't buy tickets, but I'm going to win the lottery. That's, what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, good luck with that. But, if you want to get to this particular thing in your psychic abilities, this is the year to do it. But you got to have a game plan. And how do you want to utilize that? You're going to write a new chapter, right? This is now a brand new chapter. We are in year one. So this is the perfect time. Set the intention that you want to carry for the rest of this year or the rest of the cycle. Now, a cycle, you're planting seeds this year. You're taking chances. Now, does this mean that the next 9 years are all figured out by the end of January? No. But you're claiming your power. You're being bold. You're setting the intention. I want to do this year. This is what I want to achieve. I want to relocate here. I want to find the perfect job for me. But then you're going to go look for that job.
Right.
So this is an exciting year because you can make a lot of things happen just by being you and setting the intention and just, making it happen. This is not the year to blend into the crowd. This is the year to say, hey, you know what? This is my year. This is year number one. You link it to what your personal year, and they could go greatly together. Because whatever your year is right now, with the number 1 year, you can make a lot of things happen. Don't you agree?
Yeah. If your personal year and the 2026 year are your universal year are both the number one, there's nothing that should hold you back from stepping forward and making your plans for that.
Well, no matter what your personal year is, year number one is amplifying whatever it is.
Yes.
To push you towards a new beginning.
Right.
Kim, you are number 3.
Yes.
So that's going to amplify and push you towards the new beginnings, and then help you kind of, because you are more naturally reserved.
Yes.
So this is the perfect year combined with the 1 to begin those creative projects and to expand, don't cringe, your social circle and step out into the spotlight.
Yeah.
So you've got the express yourself year, which is the 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be amplified by a number 1 year.
Right.
I think that's exciting. I can't wait to see what you do.
Me too. And then with yours.
Well, mine, it's a personal year. Number 8 is power and progress. So with the number 1 energy, this is the time to launch projects that showcase, my personal ambitions and leadership, career moves, financial opportunities. I'm not too sure about public recognition, but that's part of what they say in this, in the article. But all of this moves you towards embracing your own authority. And it's a year to stop doubting, and just step out there in confidence. So I'm excited because you've got the power and progress, but you got the number 1 energy that's amplifying this.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I could be negative Nelly here and say, oh, that isn't going to happen. And then, of course not, it won't.
It's true with anything.
Yeah, because, when you manifest, I would be manifesting that to not happen, correct?
Correct.
By just saying, that's not going to happen. I wish it would. Okay, well, guess what? You're still not doing well in manifesting. So this is a perfect time to manifest whatever your personal year is with universal 1, because that's amplifying. So keep in mind, if you're going to be negative, you're still amplifying because it's in 1 year.
Yeah.
So this is the time to take that positive change, action, whatever it is for your year, for what's going on in your life, write it down. Because once you've written it down, you've sent it to the universe.
Right. Exactly.
Be bold. Be bold. Oh, well, I kind of hope it's not bold. This is going to be my year. I'm going to accomplish this and this. And sometimes Spirit says, hey, I'll do you one better, and this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So what do you have to lose?
Exactly.
I think a lot of people, and we talked about this before, and it's not greedy. It's not ego. When you're wanting to, let's just say you want to, do that career move.
Mm-hmm.
What's been holding you back? It's not been the right time.
Right.
Not the right job. Or you've been wanting to relocate to, I don't know, Colorado. And, you live, on the other coast and it's, a long way from home. And you can come up with a lot of woe-is me's on this. Or, hey, you know what? This is my year. I want things to fall into place to get me to Colorado. You write it down. You want it to happen. And then you start exploring opportunities. Well, you have to work when you get to Colorado. Well, look for jobs. And then see how it all aligns.
Right.
Now, if it's not in the plan for Spirit for you to go to Colorado, then you may want to have a plan B set up. I'd like to go to Colorado or someplace better.
Yeah.
You can never go wrong with that.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think it's very exciting right now, because you do create your own energy. If you constantly, and I may be getting off point, but I usually do anyway, so it's okay. If you're constantly worrying about something in your life, do you know what's happening there? You're drawing that to you, that circumstance, and you're making it intensify.
Right.
Because you're manifesting it. If there is a certain person that rubs you the wrong way, whether it's social media, family member, whatever, because you can't like everybody. There's always someone's energy that doesn't resonate with your energy.
Oh, that's so true.
We can't all be at the same energy level.
Right.
I mean, it would be great. The world would be wonderful, but we can't. So when that person's energy is irritating you, that's a perfect time to step back and say, okay, I appreciate the fact that their energy level is not up to my energy. And I'm happy for that. But I'm not going to, I need to ensure that I don't lower my energy to meet their energy.
Right.
Because that's basically what they want.
Yep. Because lowering that energy lowers those vibrations. And we've talked about it before, how difficult it is. Sometimes it's very hard to get back up to where you were.
Yeah. And sometimes you don't realize it's happened because those type of energies can wear you down without you even knowing what's going on.
Yeah. Or it's very gradual. It's a very
Yes.
very gradual.
Very gradual. So this is a perfect time to look at these situations that might be happening in your life. Write down the scenario in your journal. And now, starting 1/1 of 2/6, how are you going to not meet that energy at its level anymore? Because if you keep focusing on, I want this removed from my life, I want this removed from my life, I want this removed from my life, what's going to happen?
Well, it's going to remove it from your life.
But may not be the way you want it to be removed from your life. I mean, just a scenario. I'm just going to throw a scenario out there. What if, remember when you worked in the lunchroom when Katrina was in grade school?
Yes.
And there was that one woman whose energy did not like your energy.
Right.
And do keep in mind there's a thing called free will. So you really shouldn't try to do something to someone that's going to interfere with their free will. But if you're constantly like, I need you to make it so I don't work with this person anymore, well, that can happen one of two ways, right?
Yes.
One could be that you've impinged on their free will, and they quit, or you could be manifesting something better for them to come along and they take it, or you might get fired
Right.
because you don't want to work with that person anymore.
Right. Or not fired, but you could just leave.
Leave. Yeah. But if but that's not normally how you want it to work out ego wise.
Yeah.
You want them to leave. And I have found, from personal experience, somewhere that you focus on that person and that you want that person to leave, you're in essence giving them too much attention and drawing that energy back to you.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, it does.
Because you're constantly thinking about, first it's their energy, but then it moves to what they do that annoys you.
What they've done to you.
Yeah, if they're not a nice person, what they've done to you. Because if they're lower vibration, they're usually going to be not nice to you.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they don't even know why.
Yeah.
So then then you become the victim, and you're focusing on all the bad stuff they've done to you. Well, you're manifesting more bad stuff to come to you because you're thinking about it all the time.
Yep. Exactly.
Identifying things like that that's a perfect time to do this, in December, and especially in an amplified year. How is that going to change? Self-work on yourself, on your vibration, finding a better career, a better job for you. See how the difference is?
Mm-hmm.
It's more positive. This is all about you, not about that person, because you don't want to think about that person.
Right.
And I'm telling you, I've experienced this. This is how it happens. and I was listening to a podcast, and someone, of course, how spirit brings stuff to you, and someone was having a situation, and then they were like, well, this is why, and blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, yeah, like, thanks, spirit, got it. But that's human nature.
Yes, it is human nature.
So this is a wonderful time to flip the negative person out of your vocabulary, out of your thought, which is hard if you have to see this person once a week, twice a day, or whatever, and more about you. What do you want to achieve? Because if you're achieving something great, guess what? That person's probably not going to be there. Right?
Yep.
It's all about this year being a number one. It's exciting. If you know what the year holds. If you know you have the power to manifest big changes, positive changes, depending on whatever your number is. And I know some people don't like the number 9 because that's a cycle in. It's like getting the death card in tarot. It just means it's the end of it. Something's ending and something else is starting.
Right. It's just the end of a cycle. It's time to start over.
Right. So this is a time to deeply cleanse and release things that don't serve you. So if you're in a 9 year, this is a perfect time to be getting rid of dead weight in your life, meaning the people that don't understand you, can't quite reach your vibration.
Mm-hmm.
Cutting the old baggage. And that's hard to do. And sometimes you don't want to change, but you have to change. We all have to change as we grow spiritually. We were out the other night, and it was a new place we had, and it was a place we've been before, but there was a new employee working, and we were at a restaurant, and she was very nice, very friendly, and my boyfriend's like, he goes, "You keep looking at her." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh." I said, "Oh, we're not going to go there tonight. No, don't worry." I said, he's like, "Good." But it was, because this wasn't, there was someone with her. They were not being pushy. And I didn't, it was a very busy, very hectic place. They were very like rush. And I'm like, no. And that was one of those things that it's like, okay, if it presents itself again and the same entity is there, we'll talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But that might be something that, someone needs to work on for themselves, is saying, this is not the time to do a psychic reading versus I'm getting a hit, I'm going to run with it, and your psychic development.
Right.
I think this year is really key. No matter what your personal year is, you're amplifying. Make sure you're amplifying good. So you have wonderful results. And again, it takes work. It takes you sitting down and figuring out what your personal year is and what do you want to amplify in that.
Yeah. And some of your baggage is not necessarily people in your life. It could also be your thoughts about yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anything like that. So yeah, cool.
So yeah. Would you have any more to add to that, Kim?
No, I don't. I really didn't want to deep dive deep. I know I did a little bit there, but
well, you were getting very excited about the topic. It really was resonating with you.
Well,
so that's understandable.
That happens sometimes.
Well, that's okay. And when you're researching a topic and poor Kim, we'll have a topic lined up, and I'm like, hey, by the way, let's do this. She'd be like, all right, working on this other one, but okay. But and she's very gracious about it. But and then we try to work in like we've talked about before. Spirit moves our schedule around on what we record and when.
Mm-hmm.
And what topic. We've had that happen quite a few times.
Yeah.
Where we've got it all, we got it all lined up, but that's not how the universe wants it to go. And we're just like, okay.
Yeah.
We'll go with something else. But before we exit this one, our next episode, we are going to be talking about psychic symbols. And we have an email from a listener who would like us to share her email.
Yeah. I think it should be interesting.
Yeah, and so that's going to be our next episode. She was very excited, to communicate with us, and she was really surprised that we respond.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so the next episode is going to be on that topic of her email and psychic symbols.
Right.
Because I think that's a very important topic, and it does kind of tie in with her email. What do you think, Kim?
I agree with that. I do.
Okay. So I think we're definitely going to, that's the next one.
Yeah.
We're not changing it. That is the next one.
We're not changing it. That's it. Yeah. And we know this one's going to be a little bit shorter than usual, but, it is the holiday season, and we need to focus on our intentions and our personal year and such. So, yes. And the upcoming personal year for us. So,
yeah,
we hope you guys forgive us for that.
Yeah, and hopefully your schedule isn't so crazy that you don't have time for the podcast. It'd be a shame to listen to this one in June. But yeah, it is. Well, it is what it is.
Yeah, but anyway.
All right. Well, we hope y'all have a happy and safe and prosperous New Year.
Right.
And continue to subscribe and share us on your social media sites. And Happy New Year. Bye.
Happy New Year. May your light shine bright.
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast, Psychic Bent. If you enjoyed Psychic Bent, please like, follow, rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. We can be reached on Facebook at Psychic Bent Podcast. Our email address is psychicbent1@gmail.com. May your light shine bright.